Alright, everybody. Time to, first of all, correct myself. I did not get two chases, as sad as that is. The hood is not a chase. Uh, it looked like it was. The color was orange, not bronze. But, or like a copper, whatever you want to call that. He's a super rare. But either way, I got a chase, a prime, 6 super rares. Pretty happy with what I pulled. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk about what everybody does. First of all, I got all these Iron Mans here. So I think we should, do that first. Since, he paid the ultimate sacrifice for our sins or however that goes. We'll start with the translucent head one. Okay, so try and get it so it's not blurry. It's probably just always gonna be blurry. There we go. A lot of detail goes into these. You can see numbers there. Those are, if I can get it to focus. It's amazing. You pay $600 for a phone, and it sucks. Let's see. Oh, you'll be able to see on the back of the card here. Those numbers are the same that's on his dial there. There we go. So you can see he has a 10, a 10, what is that? 17, and then a 3. What that means, up by the wings, that's how much he can move. He can move 10 squares. The fist, he can attack. He has a 10. The 17 is what he's defending. So say I have a 10 attack. My opponent has that 17. I need to roll a 7 with 2 dice. It's pretty easy to roll a 7, you would think. But there are guys like me and Mr. Clicksflix who roll nothing but misses, whether that be critical misses that hurt ourselves, or just always rolling a 4. Now I can't get this focus again. But if I would roll that 7, then he gets to do 3 clicks of damage. So what happens is you would click this 1, 2, 3 times, and I'm on click number 4. I would have 1 click left before it says that I'm knocked out, KO'd. Pretty self-explanatory there. That's the basics. I still can't get this to zoom in. Focus, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot more to it. Obviously, the colors mean things. There's a lot going into this. But what he does is he has leadership, which means at the beginning of your turn, you roll 1 die. If you get a 5 or a 6, you can help out a teammate who's next to you. He, on the other hand, can do it. They don't have to be next to you. He can do it within his range and his line of fire if they share a keyword. His keywords are Avengers, Stark Industries, Armor, Robot, and Scientist. So he's pretty useful. He has 6 range, so instead of being next to somebody to take a token off of them, he can do it within 6 squares, which is amazing. And it doesn't have to be a 6 like the one Captain America is from an older set. He then has emergency backup copy. When Iron Man is knocked out, you may place this Iron Man. No, different Iron Man. Iron Man number 18. This one. So you can place this one in your starting area. Oh, from your sideline to your starting area. So that's. I was saying that these are like decoys. So you're going to want a bunch of these on your sideline. You put it on. Click 1 in your starting area. Roll a d6. Deal unavoidable damage to that character equal to half the result. Then he's protected, pulse wave. Each one KO'd is scored. So they continuously score the 50 points every time they knock these things out. But there is strength in numbers. You could generate 8 of these things and win a match because of it. Or you can lose a match because of, obviously, points. This other one here, he has his head. It's not translucent. As you can see, it's just Tony with his little mustache. Has the Avengers team ability. He has a 10 movement with hypersonic speed. What that means is he can run up, smack somebody, and run away in typical Tony Stark fashion. His powers, well, here we'll show you that. What he has is Earthbound Neutralized and Sidestep. Sidestep, you get to move 2 squares for free. Up to 2 squares for free since they changed it. And then Earthbound Neutralized, it's optional. I don't think he has to use it, but, well, it doesn't say may use. So he has Earthbound Neutralized and Sidestep. Earthbound Neutralized means he can't fly. I believe it takes 1 away from his attack or something. It doesn't come up very often, at least not in my world. And I know that means he can be carried, so that's pretty cool. He loses it eventually and then can fly again. The power is called Stabilizing Repulsor Failure, so I guess his boosters kind of fail or whatever. But now we have the super rare here. This is a freaking beautiful sculpt. Translucent flames there, kind of swooshing in. It's just awesome. Stupid camera is just not cooperating with me. It wants to focus on my ugly mug, but it's not focusing on the Heroclix. He is an 11 attack, 11 movement, 18 defense, 4 damage. He can outwit you, which means he can take a power away from you. He can use the running shot, which means he can move up to 6 squares and then take a shot at you, which is pretty awesome. He has, right here, we'll show you that. Try and get it to, I'm trying here, guys. Told you it's gonna be rough the first couple times here. So he has Bearer of the Space and Reality Gems. Iron Man starts the game with either the Space Gem or the Reality Gem equipped, and that costs 5 points to do so. He comes with the Space Gem here, and I'll get into what that does in a second. He then has Threat Analysis Complete, Energy Explosion. What that does is, if there's a cluster of people, you get to hit everybody. When Iron Man uses it with the Space Gem equipped, all other characters within 2 squares in line of fire of the original target also become targets instead, and damage dealt can't be reduced below 1. So if you're hitting multiple people for 1, that is devastating. You can finish off all these like Dora Milajes and any pogs that are generated, anybody who's on their last click. This Iron Man can be deadly. And he has that for his first 4 clicks. That is just devastating. That's pretty good. He is high costed. He's 145 points. He's actually 10 points less than the Chase. So, I mean, I guess it's up to you which one you think's better. Then he has, I seriously do not know how you fell for that. He has toughness. When Iron Man will be targeted by a range attack while he has the Reality Gem equipped, roll a d6. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you may instead choose another character, friendly or opposing, within range and line of fire of the attacker, and they become the target of the attack, even if they would otherwise be an illegal target. That is huge in HeroClix. There's all kinds of illegal targets. There's all kinds of ways to get around stuff like that. That is pretty devastating. And again, there's that sculpt, that just awesome translucent flame there. Just freaking one of the best Iron Man sculpts I've seen. I actually think this should be the sculpt for the chase. Maybe throw the Infinity Gauntlet on him rather than the one that they did. Here's the Space Gem. Pretty cut and dry. Just a little gem floating in some orb thing, some little power, whatever you want to call that. So this, here's that. Here's the back. Essentially, these are game changers. They can completely win or lose you a game. These are very important, especially now in Modern. They're very, very competitive pieces. Any of these objects. I'm not saying this one in particular. I haven't even read what it does yet, but just all these special objects, they are changing the game for the better. It's making people a lot more competitive, but at the same time, taking some of the casual players out of it a little bit, I think. I don't see a problem with it. I like playing both casual and competitive. I've won both. I've lost both. I've been completely decimated in both. So, I mean, it's whatever. It's fun either way for me. It gets me out of the house. It gets me using my head. It gets me thinking. And I get to just be a nerd. I get to be me. I get to make dream teams. I get to team up Batman with Iron Man and Marcus Phoenix and Master Chief from Halo and the Lone Ranger if I wanted to, because that's how awesome HeroClix is. And in a month or 2 months, something like that, I can then add Stone Cold Steve Austin to that team because they're making WWE HeroClix, and that is freaking awesome because WWE stands for Walk with Elias. That is right. I'm a huge wrestling nerd, as most of you know. I cannot wait for those HeroClix. It is going to be amazing. So anyway, back to this. Modify your speed +1. You get phasing teleport, and you can carry 2 people, which is huge because you can only carry 1 at a time unless it says otherwise. When this character hits, if the attack roll was 10 or higher, after resolutions, you may place a hit character up to 8 squares away from their current square. What? So you hit somebody with a 10, an 11, or a 12 with your dice rolls. You then, after you do damage, after you hit them, after you do whatever you need to do, you pick them up and you move them closer, you move them farther, you move them wherever you want within 8 squares. That is nuts. You can kill box somebody right away. You go up and you hit with him first, you roll a 10, game over. Game over for your biggest piece because I'm going to smash you with the rest of my pieces while I'm rolling all 4s. But in theory, it'll work. Probably won't execute it very well, though. So here is our chase. It's a good sculpt, but like I said, I think this one is a little better looking. I'm kind of disappointed that's not the chase. They could have easily thrown the gauntlet on this one, and he could have sufficed as a chase. But great sculpt nonetheless. Holding up the Infinity Gauntlet there. Again, has his thrusters. You can see, if I can focus, probably not, but you can see there is all the gems in there, the Infinity Gauntlet. Then he says, "I am Iron Man," and everybody cries in the movie theater, and I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, here's what he does. That's his dials. That's his clicks. That's what he does. If I can focus, young grasshopper. young Padawan. Kind of. Get the hint? Whatever. Okay. So he has, for 15 extra points, he's already 135 points. So if you make him 150, he has the power. I can create a world without war. Iron Man starts the game with any one of the Infinity Gauntlets equipped. That would be this guy. So he can not pay 30 points, because this costs 30 points if you put it on anybody else. If you put it on Iron Man, it only costs 15, which is pretty awesome. Pay half the price. I mean, come on. So he then has wish the gems and the gauntlet out of existence. When Iron Man would be knocked out, you may knock out an equipped Infinity Gauntlet, turn him to click 6 instead, and he is then protected Pulse Wave. So, as long as he has that glove on, as long as he has Thanos' little oven mitt, if you knock him out, he can choose to stay alive, break the Infinity Gauntlet, and go to click 6. Click 6, he still has a 7 with plasticity, an 11 with incapacitate, an 18 with invulnerability, and a 4 damage for outwit. He's 2 clicks long after that. So that's pretty devastating for 150 points. I don't know, guys. Sound off in the comments and tell me which one you think you're going to get more playability out of. I'm hoping somebody wants to play like a 1,000-point game, and I can just use them all. I can use all my Iron Mans and just get my revenge from the movie making me cry and just make him kill every Thanos in existence, and I can start rebuilding my heart from it being shattered in the movie theater. Anyway, we have a lot more to get through, but I don't think we're gonna go any farther. I was gonna do like the Illuminati and stuff. It's all right here. It's probably making you dizzy. There's the AIM guys, the Wakanda guys. I was gonna do all that, but I'm gonna wait and see what kind of feedback I get from here. If you guys want to see more, if you want to see what these guys do, I broke them down into like sub themes, like the Illuminati's all right here. If you want to see what they do, if you're interested in Heroclix, if you're interested in these videos, if you're interested in just collecting them, you don't even have to play. Some of these are like, that's an awesome sculpt. I keep going back to that, but that's cool to put at your desk, put on your desk at work. That would be just awesome. Looking at you on your computer stand while you're typing away emails, complaining about how big of a jerk your boss is, you can have an Iron Man on your desk. There's all kinds of stuff that these things do. I can get into what powers do. I can get into what abilities do, team abilities, strategies, making teams, the whole 9 yards, if you guys want to see it. So sound off in the comments. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me if you want me to continue these. It's an experiment. I just happened to buy a case today, and today was release day, so I figured it's all kinds of hype. The movie just came out and everything, so I figured, why not give it a shot? If this isn't for you, no harm, no foul. If you think it is for you, by all means, send me a message. We will definitely get you in my house, give you a whole bunch of free stuff, dice, everything you need, maps, everything you need to get started. It will all be free. I will teach you the ways of Heroclix, and you will not regret it, I assure you. Everybody I've taught has been completely addicted to it for the last several years, and none of them have looked back. You don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't have to go crazy. You can be casual. You can buy a booster a year, and I assure you, you will be happy. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you sound off in the comments with whatever you want to see, and by all means, guys,
If there's any suggestions, I am all ears. Guys, take it easy.